Welcome to our YouTube channel dedicated to all things car maintenance. Here is a detailed, continuous explanation about common things you should never do in an automatic transmission car. Owning an automatic transmission vehicle comes with its own set of best practices and precautions to ensure the longevity and proper functioning of this complex system. As an automatic transmission is a delicate and intricate mechanism, there are several common actions that should be strictly avoided to prevent costly damage and premature failure. One of the primary things you should never do is shift the transmission into park while the vehicle is still in motion. The park gear is designed to lock the transmission and prevent the wheels from turning, but engaging it at high speeds can cause catastrophic damage to the internal components. This sudden locking action can put immense stress on the transmission, potentially leading to the failure of the parking pawl, gears, and other critical parts. Always ensure your vehicle has come to a complete stop before shifting into park. Similarly, you should never shift the transmission into reverse while the car is moving forward. The reverse gear is meant to propel the vehicle in the opposite direction, and forcibly engaging it while the car is moving forward can create a tremendous amount of strain on the transmission. This can lead to the premature wear and tear of the gears, bearings, and synchronizers, potentially resulting in transmission failure down the line. Closely related to this, you should never rock your car back and forth between drive and reverse in an attempt to free it from a stuck or snowy situation. This repeated shifting between forward and reverse gears while the vehicle is stationary can generate excessive heat and wear within the transmission, causing significant damage over time. Instead, use a gentle rocking motion by slowly accelerating forward and then reversing, allowing the transmission to engage the gears properly. Excessive revving of the engine while the car is in neutral or park is another common habit that should be avoided. While it may seem harmless, this practice can lead to increased wear on the torque converter and other transmission components that are still engaged and spinning even in neutral. The high RPM levels can generate excessive heat and put unnecessary strain on the system, ultimately shortening the transmission's lifespan. Furthermore, you should never tow your automatic transmission vehicle with the drive wheels on the ground, as this can cause the transmission to spin without any oil circulation. This lack of lubrication can quickly lead to overheating and seizing of the internal components. If you need to tow your car, ensure the drive wheels are lifted off the ground or that the transmission is in neutral with the driveline disconnected. Lastly, it's crucial to avoid overloading your automatic transmission vehicle, as excessive weight and strain can push the system beyond its design limits. Heavy towing, hauling large loads, or carrying more passengers and cargo than the vehicle is rated for can cause the transmission to work harder, generating excess heat and wear. Always adhere to the manufacturer's recommended weight limits to protect the longevity of your automatic transmission. One additional pitfall to avoid is using the transmission's low or L gear while driving at high speeds on the highway. The low gear is designed for low-speed, high-torque applications, such as towing heavy loads or navigating steep inclines. Engaging this gear at highway speeds can cause the transmission to over-rev the engine, generating extreme amounts of heat and pressure that can damage the internal components. Similarly, you should never manually shift an automatic transmission into a lower gear while driving at high speeds, with the intent of engine braking. This sudden change in gear ratio can put immense strain on the transmission, potentially leading to premature wear of the gears, clutches, and other parts. If engine braking is required, it's best to do so gradually by letting the transmission downshift naturally as you slow down. Neglecting regular fluid changes is another common misstep that can severely compromise an automatic transmission's lifespan. The transmission fluid plays a critical role in lubricating, cooling, and maintaining the proper operation of all the intricate moving parts. Allowing the fluid to become old, contaminated, or depleted can cause accelerated wear, sludge buildup, and even complete transmission failure over time. Always adhere to the manufacturer's recommended fluid change intervals. Another potentially harmful habit is riding the brake while driving, where the driver keeps their foot lightly applied to the brake pedal rather than fully releasing it. This can cause the transmission to remain in a partially engaged state, generating excessive heat that can degrade the fluid and damage the clutch plates. It's important to fully take your foot off the brake when not actively slowing down. Relatedly, you should avoid excessive idling of an automatic transmission vehicle, as this can also lead to increased heat buildup within the transmission. The torque converter and other components are still engaged and spinning even at idle, so prolonged periods of idling can prematurely wear down the fluid and components. If you expect to be stopped for more than a minute or two, it's generally advisable to shut off the engine to prevent unnecessary strain on the transmission. Lastly, it's crucial to never assume that top-offs of transmission fluid are a suitable substitute for a complete fluid change. While adding small amounts of fresh fluid to maintain the proper level is acceptable, relying on this practice alone can allow contaminants and degraded fluid to accumulate over time, eventually causing damage to the transmission. Adhering to the manufacturer's recommended fluid change intervals is the best way to keep your automatic transmission in peak condition. By being mindful of these additional pitfalls and avoiding these common mistakes, you can help safeguard the longevity and reliability of your automatic transmission, saving yourself from costly repairs down the line. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more car maintenance tips and tricks on our channel.